Okay, so I'm back. I hope the stream is better now. I'm not sure if it was really bad or what was happening, but it was red over at my end, so I just restarted and tweaked the settings some. So hope it will be better now. Okay, so where were we? Yeah. So in the future, I think I have to fix a streaming computer. So I have another computer. I might use that one for streaming and this one just for working. So yeah, let's see. CPU usage. We're live at least. Yeah, so welcome back. So I'm gonna do some shader tweaking in Renderman to get some values for my shader in my texture settings in Maya, like roughness and diffuse color and stuff. So I have set up an IPR render here and an HDR. So I'm gonna tweak some shaders and then I'm gonna use that in Maya for the base of my diffuse, albedo, specular and everything. Yeah, so let's dive into it. Let's see if the stream gods are with me. Okay, back again here. Okay, I want to tweak this one. So the rubber here, artistic. Yeah. Diffuse color, I want something darkish. Whoops. Oops, I accidentally docked that one. Oops, how did I do that? Ah, there you go. Interesting. Let's take rendering standard. Maybe I shouldn't do that when I IPR rendering, but it seemed to work. Oh well. So I guess, whoops. Okay, back again. Okay, so that's the edge. So in Renderman you have artistic and physical. So I'm gonna use the artistic now because it's easier to texture with it in Renderman or more. I mean, because you have a slider for the edge. That's the Fresnel facing like 90%, like towards the angle there, and the face color is what's facing camera. So I guess something like that. Okay. Something like that. start with that. Roughness, kind of rough. Let's pause there. So I want to have a layered shader here. Okay, so we have a base for that now, the rubber material. I'm gonna tweak it more later. Let's make it layered. Can start to set up something because I can use this as a base later for a lookdev. So I know I'm gonna have some like painted metal there, so at least 2 materials. So Renderman and layered surface. So we can name this body metal. And 1D. Okay. Okay, so in a layered shader, like we have here, you set the material properties like the artistic or physical. You set it in this node. This is like a container. This is the actual layer. Let's make some real estate here. Okay. Bah. Hate when that happens. Like it's reshuffle itself. It's gonna collapse this temporarily. Okay, so we are live. Okay, so yeah, anyone that's new here. So I'm gonna do this project. It's a recreation of my Gatling droid project I have had on the Pixar community site. So I'm gonna recreate this now using a node-based approach in Mari, and so this is the lookdev setup phase. So I'm gonna do some basic shader assignment. So I have values to play with in Mari later. So let's dive into it. And welcome to my live stream. So, okay. So let's make a base metal. Painted. So this is the actual, that's the base material, and that's the coating, and it goes into a mixer, and we have mixer properties here. So we have the base going in there, and here you see the painted goes in there, and you have a slider, that's the opacity or the presence. Okay, So I'm gonna disable the top coat there and re-render if I assign this. IPR again, Renderman. And there we see. So now it's kind of a Lambert, doesn't have anything. So let's tweak the settings to make a metal out of this. Take away diffuse. It's gonna be very little diffuse here. And let's take the primary specular. So I have to enable the lobe first and take the face and the edge, and I have to gain it up. So there we go. Let's go to the primary specular. So I'm gonna have a, so that's why it didn't happen anything there. In this container that I'm named body metal, this is a container. It's just the settings. So some the like shader specific settings is in this container. This. And the actual layer material doesn't have those, so it's here. So let's go into the and set it to artistic, and now it behaves as it should. And also I want to go from Beckman to GGX. I like the GGX better. So we can set the physical to the rough speckle to artistic. Clear coat, artistic, GGX. I'm not using those at the moment, but when I do. Okay. So let's go back to the base metal here and tweak it. So something aluminium. Very little diffuse there. So here you see the slider. So you can see here the edge color. If I crank it up, you can see it there. Face color is gonna be like the metal. So if I wanna do something now, for example, gold or something, I could crank up the color. I'm not gonna have a golden one, but you get a point. So let's set it to something non-metallic. Or metallic but non-golden one, just a neutral metal there. So that's can be the base. So the roughness 0.3, let's try. I will have something that's kind of between 0.5 or 0.35 maybe. Yeah, so that's gonna be my base. Not gonna go full on, maybe dial it down a bit there. So now I can enable the painted here. Let's make a so go back to the mixer and hit enable. There you go. Some olive green stuff. This doesn't really need to be scientific here. Enable some specular as well. So then I'm gonna use a mask to dictate in the layer mixer here. I'm gonna have a metal mask in my Mari setup. So I'm gonna map it here to get like scratches and wear and tear down to the metal. Then I'm gonna make a dirt mask or a dirt layer on top. So it's gonna be a second layer here. I'm gonna have a dirt shader here. So that's kind of the methodology. I'm gonna can add this to the other parts here as well. Same there. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's a little Lambertian. So let's make it look more like a painted metal. So let's go back to the painted here. So I want a more specular. Can even have a clear coat on this one. Let's see. Sometimes I've noticed that when you enable something you have to re-render IPR. It doesn't know that I enable some lobes. That's kind of... Let's see what happens. Oh, in my case now it actually was the gain that was set to 0. So now it should be, oops, now we have a clear coat. So we can have a lacquer finish. I guess it's gonna be knocked back by that dirt layer in the end. So let's take something just to have something. That's a little too much. So we can take this. Increase the roughness slightly. See what happens. Yeah, doesn't look that shiny. It's still very shiny. Let's take it down a bit again. Maybe something like that. Now it's like a, yeah, it's a tad too much actually. When it converges, it looks like it's, but then again, it's better to have something like this, because I'm gonna knock it back with the dirt layer on anyway. So, and so let's tweak the diffuse albedo on this one. Knock it down a bit as well. Something like that, maybe. Okay, so let's take a look at those rubber things now again here. They're way too shiny. So to select something, you have this. You can select, have those two buttons here in the IPR view. So if I select this one onto the renderer, it's gonna select it onto the object, the actual object. See there, selected. It reads the pixel and isolates the object underneath. The same goes here. And I can also select the actual shader. So this one selects shaders in the IPR. So now I have that shader selected. Okay, so let's tweak the roughness. Want a rougher plastic. Rubber thingy. Add some tint to it as well. So that's this gonna be broken up and treated, but yeah, just want a base value, something that could be maybe some rubber material. Take a look here. Yeah. So I want another shader here. This one is gonna be some gun metal. I can make another layer there. Let's pause this. So yeah, so my plan is now to continue and add some more layered shaders. So, and yeah, if you're new here and like to see more painting and Renderman, so consider subscribing. I'm gonna do some live streams here, so it's gonna lead up to a offline tutorial in the end on meshmen.com. So let's get back to it. Okay, so another layer shader then. Let's make a new workplace here. It's easier to let's see, what should we do? Gunmetal. And that's not how you spell metal. Something like that. Metal coating. Okay, so let's take a GGX here as well. On the Specular. Artistic, GGX, clear coat. GGX as well. Let's see here. How are we doing with the stream? Let's see. Okay. Here we go. So I'll assign it. Let's see, I can have it like that maybe. See if it infringed the, yeah. Let's see if I can arrange this. Something like that maybe. Should be able to work like that. Let's fire off a render. Can do a couple of more here. Another one. This one. Yes, the Pixar surface. Gonna do a clean metal there. Pixar surface. One of those. So diffuse kind of 0. Artistic. So when you don't have a layer shader, you can use the monolithic shader. You have the settings for the specular lobes and stuff in the actual shader, compared when you have a layered one. It's in this node, so that's good to know. Okay. And also the difference between this like the Uber shader and the layered one is you have a gain on in the layered one, and in the Uber shader you don't really have a gain. It's it's not the same, but it's similar. So let's take the face color here. And apply it there. Okay, let's fire off IPR again. See what we got. So we got a chrome thingy there. That's good. That's something. Let's make it like a painted red thing on that pneumatic arm there. So let's create another surface. I hope I don't crash Maya now. Maya, I mean. So let's make a red color. Painted red, maybe. Okay, there we go. So let's rename this now to painted red, raw metal. Let's collapse it. And start to tweak this one. So I have the mixer here. Should be so disable the layer one. Start to tweak this. Let's see, so I want something that's kind of slightly tinted metal for some parts of it. So I want something that goes towards a little like brownish tint. So let's take that one maybe. Okay, so let's tweak the roughness. Some kind of metal for this one as well. So you see here, if I increase the roughness to 1, it's gonna behave like a diffuse. 0, it's super shiny. I want something that's shiny but not super mirror. 0.11, 15 maybe. Okay, let's try that. And I'm gonna have another metal that's gonna be more a neutral for some parts of it. It's gonna blend between those two. Might have a third one that's gonna be raw coating as well in the base later on. So let's take this, enable that. Go to the coat. And then enable the specular on this one. A little higher roughness on this one. 0.25 maybe. Let's see. Similar here, I'm gonna have a mixer here. Maybe that's too much copper feeling on that one. Let's tweak that. So if you have any questions, just add it into the chat or in the comments below, and I will try to answer it either in this session or the next session. So we'll see. Let's see. So this one is gonna be more about me finding some values that I'm gonna use in the next one when I set up the actual gonna use those values, feed it into Mari, build like a skeleton setup with those values as a base, and then I'm gonna export those maps and see if it looks the same, and then I'm gonna build my metal masks, dirt masks and everything, and use that as a guide for my setup. And I'm gonna add decals and everything. So that's how I gonna set this project up, and I have this as a test bed to test values. So let's tweak this further. Okay, so the metal gun here. Let's zoom in here close. Let it converge a bit. Let's play with anisotropic. Maybe it's an anisotropic as well in the band. Can be cool. So I think I'm gonna have so this is gonna be kind of like a coating. So I'm gonna have a base metal here as well. It's gonna be one of those raw metals. So I might reshuffle this in the end. Let's see, maybe I go for a blue gunmetal in the end. Some more saturation. Let's see. So this looks kind of like it's painted now, so that's not really what I want. So let's tweak this further. So I think I'm gonna take away even more diffuse here and see what happens. Yeah, now we're starting to get something. Yeah, it was way too much diffuse there. See, that's bad. Metal is very little diffuse in metal. So now I think I'm gonna play with the specular again. See if I have a cold facing and a warm edge, see what happens. Yeah. Maybe something like that, and then let's take the coating now. Yeah, so maybe it could be cool. So I have some parts that have this cooler look, and some other parts that has this kind of a more brownish tone, or it's gonna be cool with the contrast between those two on different parts. Maybe I go like this one has a slightly different tone than the other, and then I have a few other like scratches and stuff revealing from the even like a bare metal in the end. So I think, yeah, let's make another one. Painted black. Can't spell, that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna have that one on this. So make something dark. Physical GX. Let's see. I will probably go with a clear coat on this one as well. So let's see, first off I want to tweak the roughness. Let's increase this to something that's up. It's gonna be artistic. Just want to see the roughness first. So I want to have like a painted and varnished part on this one. So it's obviously not going to be as shiny. And then it's going to be clear coat on top as well. So let's go to the clear coat. Here we go. Let's see the specular here now again. Yeah, it's kind of a clear coat painted. So let's add a gloss shader now as well. Yes, on those ones. So let's take a Pixar surface, again, gloss. Take away diffuse. And there we go, glass. Refraction and reflection gain. Refractive index. Yeah, let's try it. Let's make it thin. And IPR again. I don't think the refraction, the trace depth is enough when I IPR. So let's actually make a offline render on this one. Let's see what we have. The globals are set to sampling, path ratio 10. Let's take 2 bounces. Or not bounces. Okay. Okay, so let's see, let's zoom out here now. Let's maybe change in the view here. Fire off another IPR here again. Yeah, so I guess now we have a like a base setup with some layers. So now I can start to build this project in Mari. So I'm gonna save this scene soon, and the next time I will rebuild the layer groups and stuff in the node graph in Mari. And I'm gonna use some of the settings here. I will probably tweak it further until the next time, but yeah. So there we see. So the next time I will dive into Mari, and I will set up the materials and the regions and use the settings I have tweaked here now. So yeah, stay tuned and consider subscribing if you wanna hang out with me doing some lookdev, texturing, stuff like that. And yeah, so let's see, do we have any questions in the chat? We don't. We have one member. So yeah, this is my first stumbling moments in streaming, so I guess everyone doesn't really know that I'm streaming now, so it's gonna be a learning experience. But yeah, so until the next time, just add comments in this live stream, because it's gonna be offline. So if you wanna ask something about what I did today or have questions for the next time, just add them into the comments below, and I will try to answer them in Q&A if I can. And yeah, see you in the next live chat. So I think I will do one on Sunday, London time, around 6 or 7. So stay tuned on Sunday around 6, and I'll see you there. Bye bye.